Hi, Kris. No Nugent Hopkins on the ice this morning. Just want to get an update on if he's ready to go tonight.
He's at home sick right now, questionable for the game. We've had this run through for a little bit, and other guys have got it. And like I said, it's questionable whether he's playing tonight.
And you guys are, I know you're tired of hearing about records that the team is close to, obviously with the 16-game winning streak, but you guys are only 2 off of the home winning streak for the Edmonton Oilers. So what is it about this crowd here that gets you guys playing at your top game lately?
Again, no idea until you said that about the streak at home. No idea. When no talk about it. And I think a lot of teams feel the excitement of being at home. Obviously, it's the comfort of coming from your house, seeing your family. You're not traveling. That makes it a little bit easier. But playing in front of the fans here, the atmosphere just gives you a little more excitement. The adrenaline's flowing. It's so much nicer. Just having the support and the energy in the building, it just makes it easier to play.
Kris, what would you say about what you've seen out of Ryan McLeod when you move him to the wing, and in particular up with a couple of your high-skilled centers? No secret, you guys are you're looking for a fit in one of those spots. How do you think that McLeod is fit there and his potential to be a consistent top 6 contributor?
I think he's been a great addition to playing with Leon numerous times, whether it was when Fogle there or now with Kane. I think, he has a lot of confidence with the puck. He's making plays, but probably the biggest thing is he's able to create disturbances. He's able to get in on the forward check and create a turnover so we have offense zone possession. With his speed, things don't close on him where he doesn't have to dump and chase and get in on the forward check. He's able to, because of his speed, push the defenseman back, so then you've got offensive zone entry with possession. It just gives it a lot easier to play with for the team, but also, the line mates that he's out there with. So he's got a lot of good attributes to do play, and then also when he's with offensive guys, he's a pretty good checker. He's able to get back and break up plays on the back check. So he helps those guys in those situations also.
In order to play him there, it opens up down the middle a little bit. You've been looking at Dylan Holloway. I know he played there a bit in the minors too. What would you say about Holloway at center so far and what you've seen?
Well, I think the best game he's played, that first game when he came back from Bakersfield in Calgary, I thought he had a heck of a game. He created 2 unbelievable scoring chances. I remember he set up Brown, he set up Ceci that game. And that's kind of why we sent him down there. We thought he'd be mostly a left winger for this group, but it's nice to have roster flexibility, moving guys around. And usually when you're moving guys around, you are vulnerable to having centermen. You need that depth. And when we're moving guys around, you look at our roster and McLeod's a good third-line centerman. But if we're trying to get some chemistry and whatever it is we're trying to do, you moving guys around, moves Dylan to the middle, and it's nice to have him playing there. So overall, I think its sample size has been pretty small, but he's showed a lot of promise.
Morning, Kris. Evan Bouchard has a 4-game point streak, 9 points. His season has been remarkable offensively from the back end, but since you arrived in mid-November, how much have you seen him grow and flourish in the role he has with this team?
I've seen a lot from him. I don't know about him growing or flourishing, but obviously he's succeeding from what I've seen. Pretty much from when I got here, I've been impressed with him. He's been able to move the puck up really well. His defensive details are good. It's some reminders, keeping his feet moving. His feet are moving. He's able to check a lot better. And him and Eki have done a heck of a job on that aspect of it. And, we talk about offensive production. Well, he's able to get the puck to his line mates or whoever he's out there with. And then also he's got a pretty good shot from the point. And we talk a lot about the bomb, the big shot, the slap shot. But you see his goals, the majority of them are just little sifters, finding a little spot and having that nice wrister and putting it in. So, he's been obviously his numbers say a lot about how well he's playing, and sometimes numbers lie, but this one, it definitely doesn't.
So, Kris, if you say the numbers lie sometimes, for 33 games, your PK was 89%, and now for the last 7 since the All-Star break, it's struggled at like just over 54. Was it maybe not as good as it was and not as bad, but what's been lacking lately, do you find, on your penalty kill?
It's been a lot of things. It's been, our forecheck getting caught up ice a little bit, but mostly it's in the defensive zone, just where our sticks are. And I think when we went into the break at the All-Star, for the All-Star break, I think that was one of the areas that it really hurt us. I think for our team play, our 5-on-5 play, we had that momentum, winning 16 games in a row. We talked about, going into the break. I think for the team, I think the break was good for us. I think we needed it. But I think the one thing that really affected us was the penalty kill, the details about where our stick should be and where our positioning should be. And right now, I just see so many of our sticks in the high lane instead of low lane. Defensemen stepping out, probably being a little too passive instead of getting out an extra 2 or 3 feet to get in the shooting lane. He's a little bit passive, which allows a shot. And all the goals have been very dissimilar. There hasn't been a pattern. There hasn't been a routine. We need to just get a little bit better in all our details.
When you see a team like Boston that you don't see very often, I know you'll see them twice in 2 weeks, but they come in, both their special teams are suddenly struggling where they haven't been for all year. Their power play is 8% in 11 games. Their penalty kill is 68%. Do you have time to focus in on a team like that, specific on the opposing special teams, the last few games they played, to see, find or uncover a weakness?
Oh, absolutely. We do a lot of pre-scouting. That's mostly Gully and Stu will look at their areas, and then they'll present it to the rest of the coaching staff, and we'll talk about what they see and what they wanted to do, and yeah, they'll be looking at, they'll probably look at very in-depth, probably 5 games, and they'll probably go back even farther on the goal scored. So they definitely know what the routines are and what the opposition's looking for and where their weaknesses are, and as a group we try and exploit that.
Just piggybacking, Kris, off of Jason's comment on Boston. I mean, the last several years they've got a standard and an identity of how they play, and 5-on-5 they're really structured. Just a thought on that matchup, and maybe playing a game against an opponent where there might not be a lot of A-grade scoring opportunities at even strength.
Yes, and even when there are grade A scoring opportunities, they've got goaltenders that have been really, really good for them the last couple of years. And, there's no secret to their success. Obviously, their special teams are good. Their 5-on-5 play is very structured. And you look at the teams that have success for a long period of time, special teams, goaltending, and structured 5-on-5. So, I anticipate it's going to be a very similar game to what we saw in Dallas, a very structured game. There's very limited opportunities 5-on-5. What opportunities there were on the power plays for each team. So I think it'll be a very similar game to the Dallas. That's what I'm anticipating.